We had word that Congressman Hearn from Oklahoma was going to get in the race. So we planned for the three of them to sit together. All three of them knew that they were going to be on together Monday on Capitol Hill. We agreed to hold back the announcement of that until special report tonight to wait for Congressman Hearn to, as expected, get into the speaker's race. Today, this morning, there was some kind of leak on Capitol Hill. We obviously worked with a number of staffs to set up Monday and how the logistics were going to work. Somehow, somewhere, it leaked on Capitol Hill with some bizarre stories and weird reporting that I was going to be moderating a debate privately for the Republican caucus. Bottom line is it leaked, and then there became pressure from other members on these three to not do that before they talked to members. They had all agreed, the pressure built, and that's what happened. It's not going to happen on Monday. We're still going to do the show on Capitol Hill. I think that the word debate has scared folks over the past couple of days, and we're hoping to change that. We're going to use a different word going forward.
Now that the Republican-controlled House is set to fight over another speaker, Fox News' Brett Baier is frustrated that his opportunistic show featuring the major players was foiled. I mean, everyone is trying to find some way to benefit from the power vacuum that Matt Gaetz set into motion. But who does the most powerful man in Congress support?
It sounds like you're not ready to commit to Scalise or Jim Jordan. You don't have a preference either way?
Well, I'm very close to both men. Matter of fact, I think of Steve Scalise like every night when I go home because he gave me this giant rack of Louisiana Cajun spices, and I love to cook. And so every time I'm whipping up some redfish or some chicken, I always think about him and the good that he's done. And I mean, gosh, man, if they'd have shot me in this place, I'd probably be out of here. But that guy, his journey from being shot to coming back to leading to taking on extra responsibilities, it's just an inspirational human story, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. And then Jim Jordan, I hero worship Jim Jordan. He is my personal mentor. I serve on the Judiciary Committee with him. I've tried to style a lot of my approach to the Congress in the image of Jim Jordan. And so it's really hard to pick among two great choices, but my personal decision will come down to spending. I want to hear these candidates say we are done governing by continuing resolution and omnibus bill.
Gaetz just can't decide. I mean, you have Steve Scalise, who gave me a rack of spices and got shot, versus Jim Jordan, who I worship and I model my political life after. Even though he seems to know who he supports, Gaetz isn't dumb enough to let everyone know. But if you do pay attention to his descriptions of both candidates, Scalise's praise was all about seasoning and getting shot, while Jordan is a political hero. I wonder who else supports Jim Jordan.
Donald Trump is inserting himself into the mad scramble to find the next Speaker of the House. The de facto head of the GOP endorsing longtime ally Jim Jordan overnight, calling him a, quote, great choice. This, as multiple sources confirm, Trump is considering a visit to the Capitol next week, right as jockeying and votes for Speaker are expected to reach a crescendo.
Let's keep it real. Everything that Donald Trump thinks about is about himself and how he can regain power, especially as the thought of 4 legal cases visit him in his nightmares every night. And although Matt Gaetz claims this is all about spending and omnibus bills, it's telling that he dumped McCarthy, someone who once said this about Trump's role on January 6th.
The president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on Congress by mob rioters. He should have immediately denounced the mob when he saw what was unfolding. These facts require immediate action by President Trump. Accept his share of responsibility, quell the brewing unrest, and ensure President-elect Biden is able to successfully begin his term.
Everyone knows that telling the truth does not fly with the Republican Messiah. So McCarthy was doomed from the moment that he blurted that out. And now Gaetz, who has teased his secret conversations with Trump, is possibly supporting Jim Jordan, another player that has made it his mission to blindly back Donald Trump's dictatorial ambitions by any political means necessary. Political means that would be much easier to carry out if he were Speaker. He's the kind of MAGA foot soldier that would wholeheartedly back what conservative pundit Jack Posobiec described as the MAGA nuclear option.
It's called the MAGA nuclear option, and it's as simple as this. Command by negation. Either you comply with the MAGA agenda, either you comply with defunding the deep state, with actually doing something about the weaponization of the DOJ against conservatives. But here's my question for the next speaker. Are you willing to actually do what needs to be done? And here's the thing. If you're not, the motion to vacate the MTV is going to be deployed against you again and again and again and again. Because that's the dirty little secret. We are not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with all of us. And so either you comply or you get out of the way. Lead, follow, or we will remove you. Are you going to deliver, or are we going to have to make you disappear again? And it's as simple as that. Did you think that we were playing? Welcome to the churn, GOP establishment.
Sounds like a nice dictatorial manifesto when it comes to control over Congress. One that's based in the lies of Donald Trump and for the sole benefit of Donald Trump. And one big thing that Steve Scalise openly supports that doesn't solely serve Donald Trump's dreams is Ukraine.
President Zelensky just gave an incredibly powerful address to Congress. And I think people got to see once again what we've been seeing for weeks, and that is just why President Zelensky is inspiring the people of Ukraine and people all around the world who are rallying behind these strong, incredibly tough people during a brutally difficult invasion by Putin. Getting these MiGs in immediately is so critical. The longer President Biden waits, trying to figure out excuses to not offend Putin, it's costing lives in Ukraine. He's got to make that happen. It's a plea Zelensky continued to make. So we're going to continue to stand with the people of Ukraine and pray for them that they're able to have the tools to defend themselves against what Putin's doing.